You can't ask me who's the GOAT between LeBron and Michael. Neither one of them are GOATs. You can't put them at the top of the pinnacle.
Hold up. Scottie Pippen has been dropping nuclear bombs on the basketball world, and his latest GOAT takes are absolutely destroying everything we thought we knew about Michael Jordan. We're talking about a man who played alongside MJ for 6 championships, systematically dismantling his former teammates' legacy on national television.
My problem is more so with LeBron. You can't say you're the greatest player. You have to allow your peers in the world to say that. Michael Jordan has never, ever said he's the greatest player to ever play the game. Why? He's respected all the other players before him. So for LeBron to say that, he's sort of pulling himself out of it. I think it's pretty great that a guy won 3 titles, left for 2 years, came back and won 3 more. That is considered greatness to me.
I'm telling you right now, after watching Scottie Pippen go from calling Kobe Bryant the GOAT to putting LeBron James above Jordan to his most recent shocking statement that neither Jordan nor LeBron deserve the title, the entire basketball world has been turned upside down. And we're about to break down exactly why these aren't just hot takes, they're backed by insider knowledge that will make you question everything. Let's start with the bombshell that shook the basketball world in 2020. During an interview with Thuzio, Scottie Pippen stated that he thinks Kobe Bryant is the NBA GOAT over his ex-teammate Michael Jordan. This wasn't some random analyst making hot takes. This was the man who made Jordan look like a god.
You know, Kobe would call me and pick my brains. And it was amazing to know that he did that to a lot of players. He did it to people Kobe was a very intelligent guy, and he believed in striving to be the best. I hate that we didn't tell him how great he really was, because he strived so hard to be Michael Jordan. And when I go back and I look at his videos and I say to myself, damn, he was better than Michael Jordan, because he worked so hard. He put it in. This kid came out of high school. He didn't go play for North Carolina under a Dean Smith. Like, he worked at his craft, bilingual, like, God bless his soul.
Amazingly well-rounded person.
But wait, it gets even more controversial. On a recent episode of Stacey King's Gimme the Hot Sauce podcast, Pippen put LeBron James ahead of Jordan due to his personal stats. Think about that for a second. Jordan's right-hand man for 8 years is telling the world that not one, but 2 other players are better than MJ.
You would know better than anyone. How close is LeBron to catching Jordan?
The numbers don't lie. He's right there. He probably will never catch him in terms of MVP.
Okay.
But in terms of statistics, LeBron is right there. And when you look across the board, not just scoring, check his assists, check his rebounds, he's probably ahead of Jordan.
Oh my God!
What?
I just want to throw this water on you.
And here's where it gets absolutely insane. Pippen explained on the PBD podcast, Michael bunched up all of his competitiveness and sort of exposed it out to the world within 12 to 14 years. We saw his whole resume, his competitiveness, his drive, his will to win. When someone like LeBron has to spread that out,
Scottie just described what makes him better to you.
For me, I think just completely just taking over games, you know, when it really counts. Not deferring to anybody at any given time. Yeah, there's times where he passed off to a John Paxson or, you know, a Steve Kerr.
he's basically saying Jordan had a shorter prime and LeBron's longevity makes him greater. But the most devastating blow came in January 2025. Pippen made the shocking claim, "You can't ask me who's the GOAT between LeBron and Michael. Neither one of them are GOATs." Neither of them. The man who won 6 rings with Jordan just said his former teammate isn't even in the conversation.
You can't ask me who's the GOAT between LeBron and Michael. Neither one of them are GOATs. You can't put them at the top of the pinnacle. Magic Johnson, to me, is a bigger GOAT than anybody because of how he led, how he brought a whole team, how when the greatest scorer in the game, Kareem, was not there, and him as a rookie steps in and plays a position that no one even knew he could play. That's transcending what you can do as a player.
Now, some people want to dismiss this as jealousy or attention-seeking, but let's talk about why Pippen's opinion carries more weight than any analyst, any former player, any so-called expert. This man didn't just watch Jordan play, he was in the trenches with him. He knows Jordan's weaknesses, his limitations, his dependence on teammates better than anyone.
Back he comes the other way for a floating 15-footer he hits. Uses the Cartwright screen, comes to the left wing, left of the circle, out down the lane, throws up a hook on the rim.
And here's what's really fascinating. Pippen's arguments have evolved and become more sophisticated over time. When he praised Kobe in 2020, Pippen explained why he believed Kobe Bryant was a better player than Jordan, which raised a few eyebrows since Bryant's name frequently comes into the conversation, but is usually at least a distant third place. But let's add another explosive layer to this story that nobody talks about. Karl Malone, the mailman, one of the greatest players of all time, has never put Jordan on his all-time starting five. Malone happened to leave Jordan off his all-time starting five, despite MJ's status as arguably the greatest player in league history. Why? Because he played against Jordan and knows what we're all starting to realize.
I got to have Wilt Chamberlain as my center. I got to have John Stockton as my point guard. Okay, I got to have LeBron James as. I'm gonna put LeBron James at my power forward position. Okay, he's gonna be a tough matchup.
And it gets even more controversial. When an interviewer suggested that Malone had called Jordan the best, Malone corrected him, "You say MJ is the best player you have ever seen. I didn't say that." The second leading scorer in NBA history at the time refused to call Jordan the GOAT.
Every statistical category when he was there without Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
That's why I got to put Scottie Pippen. So now you know.
You got a man crush on Scottie Pippen.
I just like Scottie Pippen. I got a man crush on LeBron.
But here's the nuclear bomb that Karl Malone dropped. Malone said he would select Scottie Pippen over Michael Jordan in his all-time five, explaining that Scottie Pippen led the team in every statistical category when he was there without Michael Jordan. Even Malone recognizes that Pippen was the real engine of those Bulls teams. Now, let's talk about what these statements really mean. When Pippen praises Kobe's skill set, he's not just being contrarian. He's pointing out technical superiority that casual fans miss. Kobe had a more diverse offensive arsenal, better footwork in the post, superior three-point shooting, and he did it all in an era with better athletes and more sophisticated defenses.
You play with him and you coach with Phil and work with Kobe. What's the difference between those two, in your opinion?
Right hand.
Why?
Well, Kobe would be going to the line to shoot two. MJ was going to shoot and one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them knocks that Kobe had to shoot with two hands, when that knock would happen, MJ put that bad boy over here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's the difference, huh? Okay.
Over there.
Okay. I didn't hear that.
Man, I'm telling you, I done seen this brother make, like he going to do a crossover, and you... Come on, man.
Yeah, that's a knit right there, bro.
Come on. And then you have that NJ. I'm telling you, I was with MJ 4.5 seasons or whatever. Never lost a suicide. Never.
Never lost a suicide.
Never.
It's crazy.
Never. No.
And when Pippen talks about LeBron's longevity advantage, he's highlighting something crucial. Jordan played 15 seasons, but was only truly elite for about 11 to 12. LeBron? He's been elite for over 20 years. That's not just longevity. That's sustained greatness at a level Jordan never achieved. But here's what really makes Pippen's recent statements explosive. In February 2024, Pippen briefly returned to calling Michael Jordan the GOAT, saying he had the facts to back his answer. But then just months later, he went back to saying neither Jordan nor LeBron are GOATs. This shows he's not just being stubborn, he's genuinely wrestling with the evidence.
Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever put on shoes and play in our game. No doubt about it. I'm always asked about questions to compare him to LeBron. I try to make the best of it.
You try to make the best of it?
I've tried to make the best of it, but really the comparison shouldn't ever be made. They both play two different positions. The way LeBron James play, Michael Jordan was never asked to play that way because I took that away from him. I was the point forward. I was the facilitator. Michael Jordan is a scorer. He was a defender. He played the game as complete as LeBron James did when he needed to, but he was asked to score the basketball, and that's what he was great at. And there's no game that I would ever play in and pick LeBron James over Michael Jordan.
No game.
No game.
So now you're just being
Not if I'm
firm
trying to win.
The fact that even Bill Walton once ripped Scottie Pippen for calling LeBron the GOAT over Jordan, calling Pippen's comments as insulting as Pippen's moody disposition, shows just how controversial these takes are. But controversy doesn't make them wrong. Let's talk about what Pippen sees that we don't. He was there for Jordan's petty moments, his selfish plays, his inability to make teammates better through positive leadership. He saw how Jordan needed perfect conditions to succeed. The right coach, the right system, Hall of Fame teammates. But Kobe? Kobe adapted to different teams, different systems, different eras. And LeBron? LeBron has taken mediocre teams to the finals multiple times. Jordan never did that. Never! Every time Jordan won, he had multiple All-Stars and Hall of Famers around him. That's not a coincidence. That's a requirement. Here's what makes Karl Malone's perspective so devastating to Jordan's legacy. Malone and Jordan were bitter rivals during the 1990s, with Jordan famously stealing the ball from Malone in the 1998 finals to hit the championship-winning shot. Yet even after that heartbreak, even after losing to Jordan twice in the finals, Malone still won't call him the GOAT.
Open. Chicago with the lead. Michael never clears, so Malone doesn't see him. He comes from the blind side and strips him. So 3 crucial plays here by Michael Jordan now as he gets Brian Russell with a quick crossover. Look at Brian Russell slips, and Michael pulls up and buries the shot to give him a 1 point.
That tells you everything you need to know about how Jordan's peers really viewed him. They respected his talent, but they saw his limitations, his need for help, his inability to elevate average teammates the way true greats do. The most damning evidence? Look at Jordan's Wizards years. Jordan played 15 seasons in the NBA, 13 of them with the Chicago Bulls, but those final 2 seasons in Washington exposed the truth. Without Phil Jackson, without Pippen, without the perfect system, Jordan looked ordinary, good, but not GOAT level.
How good was Michael Jordan on the Washington Wizards? I think he was a little bit more dangerous when he was with the Wizards. He didn't have the athleticism that we were used to seeing MJ have. Yeah. But I'm with Bonzi. His angles were a little bit more sharp. You know, you wasn't going to move him. He was a strong 2 guard, 2-3 guard. You wasn't going to just move him lightly. And his shot became more dangerous. You know, he became more solid as that veteran player when his years in Washington, as the question stated. You know, it was like one of them, don't leave him open. Yeah. Don't leave Michael Jordan open. Yeah, he's still out there talking. His jump shot was still killer. Yeah. And you know, but the thing I liked about it with him there, you seen that he was that veteran player where he was even out there on the floor coaching and guiding all the young players.
Meanwhile, Kobe was dominating into his late 30s with completely different supporting casts. LeBron is still dominating at 40. That's the difference between a system player and a true generational talent. But wait, we haven't even talked about the nuclear bomb that destroyed the Jordan-Pippen relationship forever. The Last Dance documentary. This is where Pippen's anti-Jordan crusade really began, and the behind-the-scenes drama is absolutely explosive.
Look, winning has a price.
They have got to be the #1 sports team in the world.
No matter what we did, it seemed like it was a story.
The most famous man on the planet is here.
Michael Jordan changed the culture in Chicago.
My mentality was to go out and win at any cost.
In 2020, when The Last Dance aired, Pippen was reportedly beyond livid at Michael Jordan for how he was portrayed in the documentary. But this wasn't just hurt feelings. This was a man realizing he'd been used and manipulated for decades to build Jordan's legacy.
And he didn't get the recognition that he truly deserved. You know what I mean? And he's matured since I've been around, and when I stepped away, he matured even more because he understood what I was sheltering him from. You know, the pressure and the press and the expectations that he had to deal with being a star.
Pippen felt that the documentary went out of its way to glorify Jordan and his accomplishments while underselling the importance of Pippen and his fellow running mates to Chicago's success. He said he was treated as nothing more than a prop in Jordan's self-aggrandizing narrative. But here's where it gets really ugly. Pippen was furious that Jordan made $10 million from the Last Dance documentary while he and his Bulls teammates got nothing. He called it another reminder of the pecking order from the old days. Jordan was still profiting off his teammates' sacrifices.
Michael received $10 million for his role in the doc, while my teammates and I didn't earn a dime. We're all a little disappointed that he didn't give more credit to the team as a whole. The final 2 episodes aired on May 17th. Similar to the previous 8, they glorified Michael Jordan while not giving nearly enough praise to me and my proud teammates. It was definitely a collective effort to let those cameras inside of our sacred locker room, wherever, hotel room, bus, whatever travel that we were doing. Michael deserved a large portion of the blame. The producers had granted him editorial control of the final product. The doc couldn't have been released otherwise. He was the leading man and the director.
And the most devastating moment came when Pippen told Jordan directly, "I don't know what you are selling. Was I great or was I a villain?" Think about that. Jordan's closest teammate for 8 years had to ask whether he was being portrayed as great or villainous in their own story.
The Last Dance, the documentary. It seems that Pippen has a little bit of beef with Jordan over that documentary. What's your take on it?
I really have no problem with it, you know. I wouldn't expect to get paid for that. That was, I think, the 97, 98 season. Everyone knew that they was videotaping us the whole year, but no one knew that it was Jordan. But everyone knew that we had cameras on us 24/7. When the Last Dance came up, I think a lot of people were a little shocked to see that the Last Dance was Michael Jordan's name on it. And I think a lot of people got a little upset because they get the credit or they want money. I didn't want the money, you know. That was good for me to just be on there.
But here's what makes this even more explosive. Pippen's biggest criticism was when Jordan included his 1994 playoff incident where he refused to go into a game, saying Jordan wasn't part of that team. Jordan was including moments when he wasn't even there to make himself look better by comparison.
A flaw highlighted when Scottie Pippen refused to come out for the final seconds of Game 3.
Scottie Pippen sitting out the last 1.8 seconds in Game 3 was, I think, kind of a defining moment for the Bulls. Deserting your teammates in those last few seconds is probably the cardinal sin in team sports, and I don't think he'll ever live that down.
Interesting, Pippen is not on the floor here. Coach Jetson, it's all over. Despite the dramatic victory, the Bulls fell in 7 games, a loss that left many wondering what might have been with a man named Michael in the lineup.
The relationship got so toxic that Pippen and Jordan haven't spoken in years since The Last Dance aired. We're talking about 6-time champions who can't even have a conversation because of how badly Jordan betrayed his teammates' trust.
You watch Michael Jordan right here. He knows that he's in his zone and he wants to take his game to another level. Scottie Pippen missed him on the pass. He had just made a J and he's hollering at Pippen, "Get it to me, get it to me." Even though Pippen made the 3, he came back to the huddle and he's telling Scottie right now, "Look, Scottie, I feel it. Get it to me." Scottie said, "But Mike, I feel it too."
But wait, it gets even more dramatic. Dennis Rodman, their former teammate, was shocked by the feud and actually sided with Pippen. Rodman said Pippen should be holding his head up higher than Michael Jordan and defended Pippen's negative portrayal in the documentary.
I said, thank God Michael Jordan got Scottie Pippen, you know, because Michael couldn't do it by himself. Mike was scoring 40 points a game, and Scottie came in and just filled in the blank and just made him just like a major, major superstar. I just think Scottie Pippen is probably one of the innovators of the power forward point guard because he's 6'9", and these kids today are 6'10", doing the same thing Scottie was doing. I mean, but Scottie, his game was polished. I think Scottie played today, he probably had triple-double. I said, bless Scottie Pippen, man. I said, Jordan should, like, you know, but, you know, they played well together, man. That's why the best 2 combination I've probably seen.
Rodman revealed something crucial about their team dynamics that completely destroys the Jordan narrative. He said that while Pippen and Jordan occasionally became frustrated with each other, as all teammates do, they were mostly united. But The Last Dance made it look like Pippen was always the problem. And here's the smoking gun that proves Pippen's point. Pippen said the documentary was solely built and controlled through Michael Jordan. And that's why he took a hiatus from ESPN. Jordan controlled the entire narrative to make himself look like a lone wolf superhero. The most insane part of this whole saga? In January 2025, Pippen finally said he thinks The Last Dance documentary was great after years of hatred. But why the change of heart? Because now everyone can see through Jordan's manipulation.
You have a lot of criticism about The Last Dance.
I thought it was a great documentary. I felt like the documentary only told a story that sort of glorified him as a player and not glorified us as a team.
You call Michael Jordan selfish in the first chapter. Why is that?
I mean, he was a great scorer, but a lot of things that he did was based on him as an individual. And I think basketball is a team game.
But let's talk about what really happened during those Bulls years that The Last Dance didn't show you. When Jordan retired the first time in 1993, what happened to the Bulls? They were better without him. They won 55 games, nearly beat the Knicks in the playoffs, and Pippen proved he was the real engine of that team.
22 years of age and a steal by Pippen, one of the best in the game at that, and he ties it at 6. And out of bounds.
Karl Malone said he would select Scottie Pippen over Michael Jordan in his all-time 5, explaining that Scottie Pippen led the team in every statistical category when he was there without Michael Jordan. The second greatest scorer in NBA history at the time chose Pippen over Jordan.
So when I say the name Michael Jordan, what comes to mind?
Michael Jordan. What else I need to say?
Talk to me about the Game 6 finals in Utah when he stole the ball.
Do I have to? But I tell you this, I accept the responsibility for not winning one. And we just happened to be playing the Chicago Bulls. It wasn't just Michael Jordan, by the way. And I have the utmost respect for Michael, but I never thought I was playing Michael Jordan. I was playing the Chicago Bulls. Everybody say this person was a bad man and all that. Well, yes, I give them respect. I'm a man, and I was a bad son of a bitch too.
And here's what makes Pippen's recent GOAT statements so powerful. He's not just making random takes. He's exposing the systematic way Jordan built his legend on other people's sacrifices. When Pippen says Kobe was more skilled, he's pointing out that Kobe never needed a Scottie Pippen to win championships. When Pippen praises LeBron's longevity, he's highlighting that LeBron never needed perfect conditions the way Jordan did. LeBron took the 2007 Cavaliers, a team that had no business being in the finals, all the way to the championship round. Jordan never did anything like that.
You got to make anybody but LeBron James hit a shot here.
Single coverage with Phillips on James, working it down. 5 seconds, 4, 3. James scores with 2.2 to go.
The fact that various other NBA veterans have weighed in on the pair's estranged relationship shows just how significant this feud has become. We're not talking about a simple disagreement. We're talking about the complete breakdown of the relationship between the two most important players of the 1990s.
Michael Jordan may be cordial. Michael Jordan will be complimentary about the things that Scottie Pippen did for him as a teammate. But please, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake when I say this. There ain't no friendship there. And if Dennis Rodman thinks that everything's going to be cool, you don't know MJ. Scottie Pippen's done when it comes to MJ. I've known MJ for many years. Nah, it ain't going down like that. Scottie Pippen was overly sensitive to The Last Dance. Scottie Pippen clearly had harbored a level of bitterness that he had held inside for quite a long time. And he talked about how it took him a while before he gave Michael Jordan his condolences after his father had passed away. Scottie Pippen had purposefully neglected to extend his condolences to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan personally said to me, I didn't know it was like that. I hope everything he's saying about me was worth it.
And here's the ultimate proof that Pippen's criticisms are valid. In Pippen's 2021 memoir, Unguarded, he accused Jordan of prioritizing his image over team legacy. This wasn't just about the last dance. This was about decades of Jordan putting himself first. The relationship became so toxic that even Dennis Rodman revealed he didn't have a relationship with Jordan and Pippen off the court. Think about that. 3 champions who couldn't even be friends because of Jordan's ego and need for control. But here's what really seals the deal on Pippen's anti-Jordan stance. When you look at the totality of evidence, from Karl Malone refusing to call Jordan the GOAT, to Dennis Rodman siding with Pippen, to the complete breakdown of their relationship over the last dance, one thing becomes crystal clear. Jordan's GOAT status was built on lies.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT, like no disrespect, but y'all just holding on to old feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to acknowledge the fact that what I just said is. You know what I'm saying? Like he got 40,000 right now, counting.
Yeah.
And dog, you seen his resume, bro.
Yes.
Dog. We think we take care of our body as the top 4th, you know, bro, that he treat himself like a machine.
The man who made Jordan's career possible is telling us that not only was Jordan not the GOAT, but that Kobe and LeBron were both better players. When your Robin turns against you and has the receipts to back it up, maybe it's time to admit that Batman was never that great to begin with. So here's the truth that Scottie Pippen and Karl Malone are trying to tell us. The Michael Jordan GOAT narrative is built on mythology, not reality. It's built on perfect circumstances, elite teammates, and the greatest coach in NBA history creating the perfect storm for success. When the man who won 6 championships with Jordan says neither one of them are GOATs about both Jordan and LeBron, maybe it's time we listened. Maybe the real GOAT conversation should include players who didn't just succeed in perfect conditions, but who created success wherever they went. Whether it's Kobe's skill superiority, LeBron's longevity dominance, or some other player entirely, one thing is clear. Scottie Pippen's insider knowledge is destroying the Jordan mythology, one explosive statement at a time. What do you think? Are we finally ready to admit that Jordan's GOAT status was more about perfect timing than perfect play? Let us know in the comments, smash that like button if this opened your eyes to the real GOAT debate, and subscribe for more basketball truth bombs that'll shatter everything you thought you knew about the game.